a bit funky there. High risk, high reward. Let's see how they go with this tactic. Short. Hit out to mid on for a single. Yep. Steve, I feel Rakibal Hassan holds the key for Bangladesh. If I'm the Perth Scorchers, I'm just seeing him off, trying to reduce the damage. He's already got 2 in 2 overs, no more, and just get the runs from the other end. Yeah, he's spot on. He's only got 12 more balls left. The last thing you want to do is give him a couple more wickets by playing reverses and ramps. You just need to be playing smart cricket, get through, even if it does only cost you 3 or 4 per over. But that's okay, because you can score runs off the other guys. They're only chasing a little bit more. Over a run of ball, which in modern day T20 cricket, that's not too hard to do. When you've got the fielding restrictions and you've got plenty of space out in the outfield, you can work the 2s, you can work the 1s, as we've spoken about earlier. There's no need to get too funky when you're 3 for 50, and you only need 74 runs from 72 balls. It should be comfortable going for the Scorchers if they're smart here. Bowling change, we'll see the introduction of pace again. Ahmed. Curtis advances, little inside edge. Just be the single out to backward square, but another sign of intent. Yeah, they're certainly batting positive. Not letting the bowlers settle is such a crucial element to T20 cricket, and I think that's maybe what, when the Bangladesh side reflect on their batting unit, you think of how Hassan went about his innings. They let the bowlers dictate terms to them too much. To the onside, potentially 2. They'll think about it. Curtis is quick. Throw goes to the keeper's end. Safely home. Again, Tegan Wiley able to find the gap and the placement to come back for a 2. Must have done that 5 times so far. What he's doing is times before. I don't think we're going to see him doing too many reverses or try and get big 6s over cow corner. He's just going to continue to work it around. He'd be happy to come off with 50 runs off 45 balls or 60 runs off 55 balls. He needs to do it as quick as he did the other day. Single. Single. Voice from the Bangladesh camp cheering their teammates on. Exceptional support from the Bangladesh community here in Darwin. Again, well.
Start with a 50% deposit bonus. Increase your investing power with Pocket Broker.
They're going to have to try and work out a bit of a strategy here about where they're going to get a catch. advancing again. Taking a single down to mid-off is Curtis.
Yeah, that was good batting, using his feet, no risk. Hit the ball hard down for an easy single.
While he does elect to paddle sweep again, this time he's able to make contact. Ball goes fine for a single.
So they've got to catch her at short cover and mid-wicket. They're probably the best bet in terms of getting a catch in front of the wicket.
That's why a dot to mid-wicket.
Also cutting off those singles there, trying to build a few dots, build a bit of pressure.
Dot again, as Hassan throws the ball back into the wicketkeeper. Curtis just slightly out of his ground after advancing that delivery. Three consecutive dots as Hassan continues to build pressure, but as we mentioned, they might be happy just to see him out without any further damage.
Yeah, I think they've got the memo. They've realised that they don't need to score all the runs off him. He's bowling very well.
Outstanding figures of 2 for 9 as he looks to finish his third over. Bombers quicker into the wicket, work to the leg side, and again, brilliant placement, great running. They seem to have an excellent understanding, this pair, both exceptional athletes, as they hurry back for the second.
Yeah, beautiful soft hands there. Didn't hit it hard enough that the fielder had any chance of cutting off the two there, as we spoke about earlier. That was really, really good batting. And smart running, as you said, there's some good athletes in this side. I've walked past all the teams at different stages being out on the ground, and yeah, these guys in particular, the Scorchers, they've got 6'3" blokes and look like they could be at the Olympics, some of them. They're very, very strong, fit and agile, which is obviously a great quality to have in T20 cricket.
Undoubtedly. Tegan Wiley on strike. Non-striker and bowler collide. The ball got through. They come through for a single. Steve, something to give our Bangladesh fans some hope. Yesterday, the Perth Scorchers were 3 for 76, chasing 111. Moments later, they were 8 for 100. So there was a collapse yesterday. If they can just take another wicket or two, they can put this middle order under pressure again. There is the reverse sweep, and that is smashed out to backward square. What a shot from Joel Curtis. Exceptional skill as he went down on one leg, slapped that backward of point. There was a deep cover, but there was too much pace for him to come around.
Yeah, Hassan's a little bit hittable in terms of the reverse. Figures now of none for 22 off his 2.2, so a lot less risk at this end. Beautiful shot.
This time advancing to use his crease throughout his innings. Just a single on this occasion.
Yeah, very much as we spoke about, they're targeting one end to score their runs, and the other one, they're happy to see him off, which is very, very intelligent batting.
Another single to Wiley. Rockaball Hassan has 1 over of his 4 remaining. Are you using it now, Steve, or are you holding it back?
I'd be using it now. I think it's you can't let the game get away from you. I'd possibly try and bring a catcher in.
Curtis hard out to the cover sweeper.
It is a risk that you'll lose him and the game will move on, but I think ultimately if they don't do something now, the game's going to get away. The run rate's now getting under a run a ball.
There's the wicket that they needed. Tegan Wiley looked to free his arms. Whether he got a little inside edge or the ball just shot through, but a much needed wicket as Bangladesh stay in this contest.
Yeah, huge wicket there. I'll be very interested to see the replay here. It did appear to stay a bit lower, which we haven't seen a lot of so far. The pitch has played pretty true in terms of up and down. We just have a look at the replay now. He might have chopped on, did he?
I think he must have.
Yeah.
To be wide of the stumps, and then Wiley slashed at it with fast hands before the ball cannoned into middle stump.
Yeah, it's a combination of the two. I think there it's definitely stayed a bit lower, and he's got it on the bottom of the bat and chopped it back on, so he can probably consider himself a little bit unlucky there. That's a huge wicket. Bangladesh right in this game.
Brings Nick Hobson to the crease, who looked in control in yesterday's match. It was Curtis and Hobson who combined for the majority of the runs. Hobson made 27 of 26. So he had a promising start and contribution. He's another player with plenty of Big Bash experience.
Yeah, probably best known for his heroics in the BBL 12 final against Brisbane with Cooper Connolly.
Yes, undoubtedly. I think we'll all remember those moments for many years to come. It was the moment that Hobson announced himself to Australian cricket fans. Here he is to face his first ball. Playing from the crease. Hassan again throwing back hard to the batter, and the umpire John Ganane is saying that's not what we want to be seeing. There has been a tightening in ICC regulations on that type of action. It's determined that the bowler has a duty of care to the batter, and if there's not a realistic chance of a run out and you throw and hit them, then there can be repercussions.
Yeah, it's just common sense there, I suppose, isn't it? If you think you're a chance of getting someone run out, then fair enough, have a ping, but if not, then it really is unnecessary. There's probably a 50-50 one there, to be fair to the thrower. Did leave his crease briefly, but fair enough, the umpire steps in. Just a friendly reminder is always good.
Yes, no, good that they're showing their authority and keeping the match played in the right spirit, which we've seen throughout this top-end series. Paddle sweep goes fine. Curtis stumbles and falls over, so he may not be able to get back, but yeah, they would have had 3 had Curtis not had fallen over. Just lost his grip in the spikes there, but still able to come back for a second. And he's looked composed again, Joel Curtis. Looks like someone who knows his game well, is able to access various areas of the ground. Helps himself to another single.
Again, doing running pretty comfortably here now. Run rate not an issue. If these two can bat for a little while, they're going to take the game away.
Hobson is a powerful and aggressive player. Skews that one out to mid-off. Curtis again in and out of his crease, putting pressure on the mid-off fielder, who does well to keep it to 1. Scores now 4 for 75. The Scorchers 49 from the 48 remaining deliveries.
Yeah, they certainly hold the upper hand with 6 wickets still in hand. A runner ball, the target. But there's enough there for the bowlers, so as we know, we've seen enough cricket to know that things can change quickly if we get a couple more wickets here. We've seen the Scorchers collapse already in recent times. So Bangladesh would think they're right in this game.
It's going to be Hassan to continue after a short delay. The umpires have convened and look to be having a look at the ball, whether the dew has set in and potentially softened up the seam. So we might be looking for a replacement ball. We'll just wait for confirmation. Just as we have a short break, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the many series partners of this top-end T20 series, including Tourism NT, the Northern Territory Government, Northern Territory Major Events, Bet365, the Airport Development Group, DXC Technology, Thrifty, Kookaburra, Territory Sports Medicine and Gatorade. A massive thank you for your support, making this fantastic competition possible. So the umpires are looking for a ball in similar condition. It's at the 12 over mark. Mentioned Kookaburra as being a partner here. The Kookaburra turf ball used in all matches this year. They've been a wonderful introduction for this 2025 top-end series.
We have lost a couple of balls at this venue as well. Obviously, Tim David hit a couple on the roof, which was entertaining, and even in the top-end series, we had quite a few through the cow corner over there near the light tower, go out the road and not be found. So we've had to replace the ball a few times, thanks to Kookaburra.
Now, if anyone's out running the Avala Loop here in Marara, there's a chance that they might find a cricket ball that's been deposited by... So after a short delay, we're ready to get proceedings back underway. Hobson to face Hassan. Quick single, straight to backward point. There wasn't a lot of pace on it. Fielder came in, was unable to make a direct hit that might have made things interesting. Scorchers continuing to put the Bangladesh fielders under pressure. This one's up-ish. Entry for 4 more impressive signs from Joel Curtis.
He's in the action there, a fifth. This time it's gone just to his right. He couldn't quite reach it. And the one before, he was quite athletic in the catching attempt. It's all happening. There's still a big chance here. If they can pick up a wicket, things can change. It might not be a caught though. We're looking at the scorecard. We've got 3 bowled and an LB, and that's been a trend over the last few days. So it could be bowling stump to stump.
Curtis works onside for one. Steve, I mentioned the collapse of the Perth Scorchers yesterday. They were cruising at 3 for 70 before being 8 for 100. The catalyst for that was taking the power surge. They lost their first wicket of Hobson after taking that. So I just wonder if they'll learn their lesson and hold the power surge back. Just continue to work the ball around to try and chase down these remaining runs.
Yeah, they're in a position where they don't need to make it tight, aren't they? So they can just work it now.
The only reason would be to try and improve your net run rate if you've got a feeling that you might be level on points. Hold him, what a delivery. That has done him all ends up. Hobson looks back at the wicket with some disbelief. We saw Hassan spin a couple from as early as the first over, bowling to Goodwin at the time. Now that looked to be an absolute seed. Well bowled. Hassan taking the 5th wicket of the Perth Scorchers and just keeping the interest in this game.
Yeah, sometimes as a batter you just go well bowled and you have to walk off. That is not the delivery that was the wicket, unfortunately. That replay, sorry to the viewers, but that was an absolute beautiful delivery. This might be the wicket now. No.
Waiting with bated breath to
best ball of the day so far. We want to see it again.
I'm sure they'll get it for us in a moment, but the crucial thing is that's now 5 down, and we're starting to get into this middle and latter order of the Perth Scorchers, which has shown more than vulnerability throughout the T20 top end series. Did a terrific job all earlier, now required to steady the ship after a couple of quick wickets. Curtis to face the first over the next end. Chowdhury, left armour back into the attack.
Game on again, wicket changes everything. Bangladesh supporters, all of a sudden decibels have raised. Enthusiasm has raised.
Plenty of support. Game has sprung to life. Curtis again pushing hard for 2. Sliding against it. Fielder did well there. Picking up with one hand. Firm throw back into the wicketkeeper. Brings Spores on strike.
So fair bit of protection behind square again. We do have one long and straight, but there's still plenty of 2s around.
Don't want to boz him, but Spores had a first baller yesterday. Can he navigate that today? Yes. Well played out to deep cover. It's a shot of authority to start for Matthew Spores. Bowled some tidy leg spin in the first innings. Get the ball on. Take a couple of LBs.
Yeah, just a little bit too much width there from Chowdhury. Arms.
Curtis advances. Looking to put Chowdhury up.